Welcome out to the remote regions of Tasmania's southwest. In my previous video we wrapped up my Diving Deeper series, where we dive for gold on portable dive compressors. The trip was a huge success, with over an ounce of gold for the 4 days of camping. The downside, however, was that the gold began to run out, and I now find myself on the hunt for new deposits. A place on my list of places to prospect for this summer will be to hike over a mountain in Tasmania's southwest, drop down the other side into a river where an old alluvial workings exists. Over the years, prospectors with their metal detectors have flown to the region via helicopter, but as far as I know, they have never sniped underwater. It'll take some careful planning to execute this mission, and a whole lot of courage and determination, but this seemed to be the perfect recipe for a trip filled with the challenges and thrills of an ultimate adventure. From the car, the journey would begin with a steep elevation climbing to 600 metres over a distance of 3.5 kilometres, with sections of the track virtually being straight up. Gets pretty steep, I reckon. That last half will be straight up. Let's hope it's not as slippery. There you go. Mining history here then. What's stacked up here?
Must be in the gold country, like.
This is the last of the remaining track, getting extremely steep now. We're virtually heading straight up and starting to get a nice view back there. It was a hot, humid day, especially for Tasmania, and the weight of the packs was just suffocating. Hopefully once we reached the summit of the mountain and started making our way across the top plateau, things would change. Feeling heavy today. These packs letting me know who's boss, that's for sure. 2 to 500.
So we've already done 300 metres elevation in less than an hour.
Yeah.
That's what's done it.
Yeah. That's why we're knackered. The old miners would have cut all this wall out. Keen buggers. Yeah, we've got another K or so till we're up on top of the mountain. We can start heading straight across the top and begin the descent down the other side. Eventually we'd reached higher ground and come out into open vegetation with a gentle breeze that was very welcomed and much needed. Man, there's got to be snakes around here. Water, button grass, they usually curl up in this stuff. I like to sort of click and let the snakes feel a bit of vibration. Don't think they've got hearing, they only feel it. So we've gotten ourselves into the thick of it a bit, just trying to break through over the top of the hill, and it's gotten tall and thick. The trip wasn't meant to be a full-on bush bashing mission to get to it this time, so
This might be it.
You reckon you're onto it?
Well, it might be.
Could be something.
Keep your eyes out for any giant cut tracks or anything.
We're hoping that someone may have put a track in across here at some point. We're keeping our eyes out for tape, but we've been diverting south and haven't sort of intersected anything as yet. The views up on top were absolutely spectacular, and although at times the bush was hard to push through, we still enjoyed every angle that we looked out upon. Oh, an opening. Out the view though. Just starting to make our descent down the other side. We haven't been able to locate any old track or ribbons or anything, but so far it's okay. It gets much thicker. And thicker it got, and we went from 2 to 3 k's an hour to 200 to 300 meters an hour. Yeah, so we've just looked at the map. We've got about 1.5 k's, but it's all very steep. And this is what it looks like. Might not seem much when you say 1.5 kilometres, but it turns into hours, and it's already 12 o'clock. Looks like Rob's just going to keep going. But yeah, we're trying to chip away at it. It's gotten super thick on us. The last probably 45 minutes we've just been zigzagging, looking for openings and slowly heading down, but almost at a crawl pace at the rate we're going now. Still going, but on the bright side we're about 300 or 400 metres from the river. Both out of water at this stage, so pretty keen to get there. The old barrier that surrounds every one of these rivers down here. It was a hot day, and after the grueling descent in, we were so relieved to see fresh, cold water. Alright, it's the hunt for bedrock now. We're just going to follow the river. There was a little bit of bedrock where we dropped in, but not enough to warrant putting the wetsuits on just yet. This is all bedrock. Rob's just giving me the thumbs up for some gold. Probably a nugget. Yeah. Just a flaky. Flake, okay. We'd landed on some good bedrock. It was time to get the wetsuit on and jump in the drink. And then it was just a hunt to find the right crevices that might be holding the gold. It wasn't a crevice, but I found a really good boil hole. It was extremely tight packed and it was going to take a fair bit to get this one undone. It was worth the time spent because I've had good success with the gold in boil holes like this in the past. After what seemed like forever, I got to the bottom of this one, but unfortunately there was nothing to be found. Perhaps there'd be something hiding in this crevice. This was a textbook crevice, and usually in gold bearing areas, a crevice like this will hold good gold. I'd found a piece of gold, and it was a decent chunky little flake.
Oh well, a little bit of gold.
I was now beginning to find good amounts of it. And then a little pocket of chunky little pickers.
Couple of little pickers in there.
And as quickly as it had begun to pay off, this crevice ran out and it then began to end, and it was time to keep on moving along the river. Right, so that last little hole was pretty good. I got onto a couple of little pokery bits and plenty of flakes. It was loaded up pretty well, so things have suddenly turned around for us. The legs hate it. The legs are hating it.
Yeah, same.
They ain't got much in them. Just been slowed down dramatically. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Can we go up either of them?
Oh, I'm sure we could. Wouldn't be fun. I'm going to dry bag my stuff and throw it in. I might have something you can use. You need one for the drone.
Yeah.
See what we can do. Just trying to decide what to do with this gorge that we've come to. If it continues on, it's not worth us trying to bash our way down there. We'll have to dry bag everything, all the drones. The reality suddenly hit hard with the limited time in our day, and after a closer look at the map, we suddenly realised a large gorge which we hadn't counted on, and it was standing between us and our exit point. This would mean we'd have to take the same route back out over the mountain. We'd become trapped in this valley, and the thought of tomorrow's mission out was deflating, to say the least. At a campground up there. Just looking for a camp spot for the night. Very limited ground on this river to actually camp on the banks, so
I mean, it's doable.
definitely get one in there.
Take a bit of work.
Have to clean it up. And get one in there too. This place is weird. burn. What a day. Where's all the gold?
I don't even want to talk about gold. I'm embarrassed.
You're embarrassed to call yourself a prospector today, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Useless prospector.
Yep. I'll agree with you.
Popeye looking sailor man.
I'm quitting.
I quit after this trip. I'm going fishing. Where's my gas cans? The mood around camp had gotten a little sarcastic and a bit ordinary to say the least. The truth was this entire summer for us had been amazing on the gold, and this particular trip was just a friendly reminder that this is what it takes to find that next big deposit. I began calling it post-honey hole depression. If anyone was to complain, it certainly wasn't us, but this trip had certainly humbled us.
I probably had about 30 or 40, and I do like the first time I ever went on my overnight hike, and I went to the Jane, there was actually 2 times that I attempted to do it before that. The fire's nice. What's the bracken?
Two batches of coconut. We're just sending the drones up. We're going to have a bit of a look at our path out. We're pretty much in line with where we've got to go straight up the mountain. But we're going to send the drones so we can get a bit more of a bird's eye view, and hopefully we can pick a better path than what we had yesterday, because that was brutal. We think we might be able to see the old track. There's a bit of a vague line you can just see down in the centre of the screen there. It definitely looks like a track of some sort, doesn't it? Nice little rocky outcrop there.
Yeah, that white rocky outcrop.
Try and straighten her up a bit. So straight up there's where we're heading. Much of a muchness, a lot of it, isn't it?
I don't want to follow a path and then realise it's a dead end.
Realise that we're way off where we need to be. So it's about 600 metres of elevation. This drone's set to go to 500. Not supposed to go that high, but we're going to see what it does, see if it gets us close to the top. So we'll be following this ridge just up here, the high point that you can see there. That's it there, 500. That pretty much puts us at the top, really. If we go, that we'll be going across that top of that ridge there. Alright, all packed. I'd love to say it's lighter with the food that I ate on this trip, but with the wetsuit in, I think it's actually going to be a bit heavier. Righto, on the road again. Can't say it feels all that great, but at least we'll be one step closer to getting back out of this crazy place. Yeah, I think we've got to find it before we venture in too far. We should be able to see the opening of the tree. Yeah, the tops of the trees somewhere. This might be it. I'm not entirely sure. Slippery logs. That's what happens when it gets wet. Everything gets really bad. Might seem like we're dramatising this mission, but we cannot sort of, what's the word, explain what we went through getting down to this river yesterday. It made us both feel pretty much sick, actually. Okay.
It might clear up. I've got a feeling it'll clear up for us.
Might do. Okay. Pink tape we could spot. There's another one. Looks like hell and I can't see any more. Okay, the dead end. No more markers. Even if they were there, we wouldn't see them. The track we'd spotted with the drones only lasted about 100 metres. Then we were unable to follow the vague tapes that were scattered about the bush. Then the rain set in and we knew we were in for a big mission to get back out. Yeah, I went to the left and then round. I couldn't spot any. This one just here was the last. They were probably about 300 or 400 metres from the river. It wouldn't even be that, would it? Maybe 200.
Yeah, it's probably 400.
400 metres. So we've done about 400 metres in maybe an hour and a half. Because of the detour, trying to follow that old track.
So we're back on our path now that we came in on. We're just basically going to hang to that, climb it all the way up this hill. We've been going for an hour and a half, thanks to that little detour. But at least we know where we're going, and we'll just put in the work, sweat it out, get drenched, and get out of here. How are we like
So far.
heading that way, but we're just going up? It felt like we were walking up this.
Yeah.
Thick parts that we really need to go where we've been.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, I mean, this isn't too bad. If we just continue heading up, we're going to get to that blue tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Better.
We battled on for what seemed like an eternity, and then a miracle occurred. We're at the top. Hallelujah, mate.
Good job, mate. All the clouds coming up from the valley we just left.
It was over the top of the mountain and down the other side, and these two weary prospectors began to feel some relief for a safe return. Just like that, it's all over, eh? guys, I'm currently on the mainland in Dubbo, Australia, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to finish off this video, trying to edit and do everything on the road is just a logistical nightmare, but yeah, where there's a will there's a way, so I've just got everything out this morning. I'm going to weigh the gold, but I'm also going to do our Patreon gold giveaways. I'm going to give away 3 lots of gold again this month. This will be for the month of February. I'm running a bit late because I've been on the road, so don't give up on me, guys. But anyway, I'm going to sort a bit of this gold out now, and yeah, it'll be from my Diving Deeper series, where I got a large 7-gram nugget, and I can't even remember now, but we're talking ounces of gold. It was a very successful trip, so if you want to check that out, I'll drop a card up in the corner. So 3 of you guys are going to get some nice gold from that Diving Deep series, and then we'll weigh up the gold, a huge amount from this last trip over the mountain. Just got to work out which pieces, so I'll do 3 little nuggets. There's 3 there, they're very similar in size. I'm just going to pinch a handful of osmiridium and gold and throw in another, let's go for 1.2. Some nice little pokers and pickers in amongst that as well, some nice chunky bits. So 3 of you are going to get some nice gold. Put that in there. Number 1. Tricky getting them even, a little bit more. Beautiful little poker in there. Put those little nuggets in. Okay, 3 lucky Patreon members are going to receive this gold here. Each of the winners will be receiving 1.5 grams of gold roughly. The person gets a little more, lucky you. Alright, okay, we've got all the nugget tier members in there now, so if you're one of them, here we go. I'm going to spin this wheel and there's going to be 3 members selected. Our first one goes to Gorilla Gold. Congratulations, Gorilla. Okay, number 2. Damien Valentin. Cheers, mate. Thanks for being a Patreon. And congratulations. And the final one, number 3. Mark Alford. Congratulations, Mark. Okay, I've added in all the Nugget members and Picker members on the tier levels of both Nugget and Picker. And I'm going to give away 3 hoodies as well, 3 Tassieboys hoodies that are going to come straight from our merch store. So here we go with the number 1. First one goes to Mark Sheldon. Congratulations, Mark. Okay, number 2. Jeremy Landor. Number 3. Daniel Beveridge. Well done, mate. Congratulations to those patrons that have won today. And now for the gold that me and Rob busted our butts trying to get over that mountain for. Bit of a fail of a mission, but The thing is, when we first dropped into that river, we went a little bit upstream and there was some good bedrock upstream, so if we're brave enough we might go tackle it again upstream. Yeah, I don't know how quickly we'll be rushing back in there, but anyway, here's the total. Did start to get onto the gold, but then we run into that gorge, so 0.88 wasn't a complete failure, but yeah, you can see a couple of those thicker little bits in there, so the gold's thick. We just need some more bedrock to work. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it with the limited gold success that we had in this one, but I hope you have had fun with it. Until the next one, happy hunting, and we'll see you all next time.
I don't know, but my name's Chris.
Chris, hi Chris.
I've got some Victorian gold for you.